you for being a part of our Zainey fam. We are doing a little bit of a different video today where we are kind of doing more of a vlog style, but we had this really amazing idea from my friend Christy, and she said, why don't you get like a geek cookbook and cook things out of it? So we got this one.
Eat like a Gilmore.
And we will be doing a couple of recipes from there. So I really hope you guys like this. I think it's an interesting like take on and something we've never really done before. And also please don't judge us of our choice of recipes because it's kind of, it's interesting. I'll just tell you that way. All right, let's dive in.
All right, so this book was written by Christy Carlton. It is not an official work, but it is based entirely off of the show and things that you'll see throughout. The first recipe that we're going to be working with today is muffin bottom and pudding pie. Now, this was said from an episode in season 7 when Sookie mentions that she makes this muffin bottom and pudding pie, so the creator of the book just wondered how she made it, and she went ahead and put it together. We're going to show you how. I'm actually really glad that this pie exists because everybody loves muffin tops, but nobody ever eats the muffin bottoms. So this pie makes that, and that's one of the reasons why I thought it was really quirky and really fun and wanted to make that today. We're going to be following that up with some hot chocolates. They're going to be really dark, hot chocolate. Which, if you watch the Gilmore Girls, you know that they absolutely need chocolate in order for the town to survive.
Awesome. Okay, so what do we got? We got going on here for the muffin bottom.
Well, the first part of the recipe asks that you make a graham cracker crust. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you take 1 box of graham crackers, let's see, 1/4 of a cup of sugar, or as we use stevia, and then 6 tablespoons of butter. But we decided to go even more Gilmore and just get it store-bought from...
Because even though Sookie is the one who made this pie, and she would probably make the pie crust from scratch, we figured, the actual Gilmore Girls would probably just buy the pie itself. So if we're staying true to what's happening.
True. Now, actually, if you look through this book, if you buy the book, you'll find a bunch of different recipes that are inspired entirely by the Gilmore's eating habits, including one sandwich that is a chicken
chow mein.
A chicken chow mein, and the instructions are literally get 2 pieces of bread, butter them, toast them, and then get takeout chicken chow mein and put it on there.
Yeah, we got this book from Amazon. It was actually under $20, which we thought was hysterical. If you guys want us to make like more recipes from this book, let us know. We also have a Walking Dead cookbook coming. We have a Doctor Who, and I believe a Psych cookbook already. Although it's not a cookbook, it's a digital cookbook, so we might have to figure out how to do that because you won't be able to see it. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So
the next part, after you would be making the pie crust, we're going to have to make the yogurt. Now, not yogurt, but the pudding. So it asks that you either use one of these pudding mixes or that you use just a cup of pudding that you could just buy out of the store.
Is that sugar-free?
It is no artificial sweeteners, no high fructose corn syrup, same great taste.
Let's see. Don't judge us, those of us who are on a diet. We know the first ingredient is sugar, but whatever. There are a lot of carbs in this recipe. We're not doing this for diet. We're doing this for entertainment. We do this for you.
Not just your entertainment, but I'm pretty certain it's also our entertainment here.
All right.
It's pretty funny to do.
So we're going to go ahead and make the vanilla pudding and then come back at you. I wonder if we could use actual like electric beaters.
We could.
But you're just having fun with that?
Yeah, we're just going to have fun with that.
So if this cooking series goes, you know, in a popular way, you would give me the excuse to buy an actual KitchenAid mixer, which I've wanted my entire life. My mom still has a one from before I was born, so it's like probably 50 years old at this point. Avocado green. But I feel like I would really, really want a mixer this year. Like, can we make that a thing? Can you guys make this popular enough to make that a thing?
Well, you know, especially if we plan on starting a Patreon. And if you're interested in us making a Patreon to give us a little bit of help on this, just let us know down below.
Shameless plug. Also, I'm really sorry if you see our lighting over here, but that's what's happening right now.
We're just going to let it soft set for about 5 minutes. right there, and that will be all that we need. After that, what we're going to be needing is to assemble the pie, and that's going to mean taking some of these muffins. Now,
so what kind did we get here?
We got blueberry muffins. Now, the book also includes recipes for muffins, but why? Let's just buy them.
Especially because I feel like those have really nice tops to them, and if we're only going to use the bottoms, you need really yummy tops so that you can eat it later.
So I'm going to grab a plate, and we're going to cut off the tops here so that we can use the bottoms.
One of the things I did notice about this is that the recipes themselves aren't coming all from Christy Carlson. Like, this one actually was contributed by people. So I feel like this is kind of cool that it's like a collective thing. I'm going to go through and see if other recipes are contributed by different people.
All right, so the next portion of this, we have taken off the muffin tops, separate them from the bottoms, and then we cut each bottom in half, forming a whole bunch of little discs. And we're going to go ahead and put them in here.
We might be able to like cut them also, so like make them fit all the way through the bottom. So like I know that rounds might not be the best thing.
Well, a lot of the space is going to get filled in with the pudding and other toppings.
Right.
So it's then saying, yeah. So it is going to require a few more slices to do this. So we could actually use some more of the muffin tops for the top layer. This normally would ask for six good-sized muffins. We had gotten the jumbo muffins, and they were only in a 4-pack. That's what we had available to us. But because we've still got the muffin tops, we might be able to pull this off.
Awesome.
Cool Whip, and putting it right on top of there. We're going to fill that in, so be right back. One of the reasons why I did like this recipe as well is because I'm not a very good baker.
But I am, so I made him do it.
Well, this recipe requires no baking. It is entirely done in the freezer and in the fridge. So we don't really need all that much baking skill.
I have to say too that it kind of is sucky that I am a very good baker, which I kind of think I got it from my mom, but the problem about all this is I'm not supposed to have like a lot of carbs and sugars because I'm trying to like really minimize my carbs and I'm trying to be healthier this year, but what can you do? What can you do? So we might try to like do some of these recipes and really substitute out for other ingredients that might be a little bit better, like using stevia and using, you know, coconut flour or almond flour instead, just to make it a lot better. How you doing there?
Oh, all right, we're just going to be filling in all of the gaps in between with this filling.
And that's what I told you to do?
Yep, this is exactly what it told me to do.
I feel like, because we did put this in the freezer, I feel like it could have been defrosted a little more just to kind of maintain the integrity of the muffin bottoms, but I think this is probably okay the way he's doing it. Make sure you wash your hands first, folks.
Yep.
That's not very messy.
Yep.
Alright, so I went back and like read the recipe a little more because it seemed a little weird to me. Like I said, I'm the baker. I kind of figured out that you want to kind of have a glue layer for another layer of muffin top. So what he's doing is basically taking the whipped topping and mushing it over everything so that when you put the next layer of muffin on it, it's not dry on dry, because what's the point? It's like putting an entire muffin like in your mouth. So at this point, I also feel like we might have been able to take the muffin bottoms and cut them up like a little thinner. I don't know if they were falling apart or what, but probably could have done it a little bit thinner. And because if you look at the picture of the pie, it actually only comes up to the top of the graham cracker crust, and this one we still have to put on another layer of muffin tops and pudding, so I feel like we're gonna run out of room really quick. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably what should have happened. We should have cut it a little bit smaller.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm just kind of mashing it down with the back of the spoon to kind of give us a little bit more room and make sure that the still melting whipped topping is gonna...
Just put a little dollop right on that spot right there, and then this spot right here.
Little dollop.
So, going back and reading the recipe tends to be essential. So, basically what happened was Marshall missed something that was kind of crucial. You don't put the whipped topping on the muffins without the pudding.
The pudding is mixed with the whipped topping.
So we kind of did that wrong. So now he's taking the rest of the whipped topping. This is not going to look like the recipe at all. And put it on the top part of the pie.
On the plus side, the bottom of the pie is going to be very, very creamy.
Well, it's supposed to be creamier because it has that stuff on it. Mm-hmm. Guys who bake, really?
There we go. As I said, I'm a terrible baker.
So I guess that was a learning experience for me also because I had to probably read the directions before so I could keep him in check. See how it would spread a lot easier though if...
Yeah. See, that's the difference. You've got to make sure you read everything exactly. I had seen the filling in the instructions and thought it was more instructions on how to make the yogurt. I misread that entirely.
Well, especially because we're not using yogurt.
Yes. Yogurt and pudding, if for some reason, like, I see them as the same thing. I don't know why. Even though they are definitely not. Typical Target Market Pantry brand, sweetened whipped cream topping. Ooh, hey, that is ready to go.
Don't forget to save some for our hot chocolate.
Oh, I have not forgotten.
Very decorative. Okay, so then it also says that you can use like chocolate, it looks like.
Why, yes, actually. Now, when we do get to our hot chocolates, we are going to be using some of this Ghirardelli, but we only have to use about half of the bar. So, when I mince up this bar to be used for the hot chocolates, I'm going to mince the whole thing, and half of it is going to go on the top here.
Alright, so this is the recipe for hot chocolate. It basically just calls for semi-sweet cacao, chocolate chips, or a bar, coffee, maple syrup, and half and half. And I actually already kind of, you can see it over there, I have coffee because we have coffee before we film on Saturdays. So we do have some coffee too, but I guess we're gonna jump in and see how to make this while our pie is chilling. Okay, I wanted to read the story about the hot chocolate. So basically it says Taylor's decision, and as you know, Taylor is the mayor kind of the town, and he opens the chocolate shop, or the ice cream shop, soda shop thing. Taylor's decision to begin serving hot chocolate at a soda shop made it seem like he was stepping over the line into Luke's territory. After all, serving a product which directly competes with one of your landlord's products seems like a bad business decision, doesn't it? But no one cares about all that kind of stuff when there are free samples. Yep. And there it is. So what he did was he basically have this little cup that goes onto our blender, and he just made some chocolatey crumbles. And so what is happening with that now?
That is going to go right into the fridge to cool off. Because as you can see, the whipped topping is already starting to melt.
I think he means chill, not cool off.
Oh, it needs to cool off.
It's not hot.
Alright, so this recipe has called us to go ahead and pre-measure a lot of the stuff out. So we have a half a cup of our cold brew coffee that we've already had. It says you want to have strongly brewed coffee, and we actually have a pretty strongly brewed here when we cold brew it. Then we have a half a cup of chocolate chips, or the chocolate bar. Now this one is a 76% cacao, so it's really dark, and it's going to have a lot of the antioxidants that's going to make your body really happy. Yes. We also have, and this is going to be going into our saucepan in just a moment, this is going to be a cup and a half of half and half. And lastly, maple syrup, 1 tablespoon. And where did we get this? I remember we got this from one of our...
I think when we went on the cruise, there was a couple of people from Canada, and they gave us maple syrup.
So this is 100% pure maple syrup, straight from Canada. So you know it's going to be the good stuff. We're going to begin by taking the 1.5 cups of half and half. We're just going to heat it over the stove. Yes, we are real chefs. We use gas.
That's just because it came with our apartment.
Yeah, it really is. As soon as we're going to get heated up, and as soon as it gets to a really thick boil and it's going to start rising up, that's when we're going to start adding in some of the other ingredients. But in the meantime, we're just going to keep it whisked so that it doesn't hit the bottom and start burning on the bottom. Okay, good. It's just started to bubble at the edges, so we're going to go ahead and add in the chocolate chips. We're going to whisk that in.
And you want to do that till it's melted?
Mm-hmm. Now, chocolate is a really delicate thing. If you heat it up for too long, it's going to seize up and start to turn into little chunks that are not so good. So we're going to keep on whisking it while it melts. Ooh, yeah, it's starting to get nice and chocolatey looking in there. So then we're going to go ahead and add the coffee and 1 tablespoon of the maple syrup. Go ahead and continue whisking. Pretty smooth there. So we are going to take it off.
And so what we're going to do is we are going to pour it into our cups. Let me show you what they are. I have this mug that says, "You're the Lorelei to my Suki," and then we also have this mug which is a Luke Steiner mug. So we're going to go and pour it in there. Alright, so this is the finished product. We got the hot chocolate back there with a little cream, and then we have the pie right here. So why don't we go ahead and taste the hot chocolate first, and then we'll cut up the pie and eat that.
Alright.
It's really rich. I don't taste the coffee that much.
No, I think it's really just there to amp up the more bitter tones of the chocolate. Mm-hmm. Of course, then again, a lot of the drinks and other things that you see throughout this book are going to have coffee put in them.
Because they're all about the coffee.
They are all about the coffee.
Alright, so this is what it looks like when it comes apart. It's kind of messy. This is the second piece. The first piece kind of fell apart there. Let's see what you think.
Alright. Okay, so this ends up being a lot like you have a piece of cake underneath some ice cream, which is actually pretty good. It is good to have the chocolate chunks on top. It's going to give it that extra little crunch to it. That gives you different kinds of textures throughout. Otherwise it's just kind of like mush and ice cream. But this is very tasty.
Well, let me see. I'm trying to eat with one hand, so it's kind of hard. I really think it could have used more of the pudding. Yeah, it could have used more of the pudding. To me, it's just really dry. But it's not bad. It's just really dry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright, well, if you guys like this, please let us know below. We'll do more. It is quite like a production trying to get all this together, so we do want to do it if you guys want to see it, but, you know, if you don't, then we might not. So, yeah, please comment below, let us know. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.